Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike here, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the PowerShell Show. So, the last episode, we went over what is PowerShell. That was part one. It wasn't, opening up PowerShell, it wasn't going through and seeing different commandlets and stuff like that. It was just primarily talking about what it is and what it is to me. So, today, whenever you're watching this, I'm recording this at night. We're gonna talk about what it is again, but except this time we're gonna see it in action. So the first thing I want to point out is right here. You're gonna see two icons here, right? You're gonna see the PowerShell ISE, the integrated scripting environment, and then you're gonna see the regular PowerShell window, all right? And that's what we're gonna look at today. So as you can see, I'm opening this up as myself. However, if I want to open this up as administrator, which we'll get to probably in another episode of certain things you need to run as administrator, you're just going to right click, you're going to right click PowerShell, you're going to run as administrator, and that's what we're going to do. So this is PowerShell. Now this is the PowerShell window, and this is where you're going to run commands. This is where you're going to look at different methods that come from commands. This is where you're going to learn how to use PowerShell. You're also going to be using the integrated scripting environment. We're also going to be probably primarily doing scripting in VS Code. The reason why we're going to do it in Virtual Studio Code is because Microsoft has announced that they will no longer be updating, supporting anything with the integrated scripting environment. I'm not 100% sure why. I mean, maybe they're going towards the VS Code because it just has more features, has more add-ons. For example, if you use GitHub or just Git, you can, integrate Git into it, and you can do, a lot more things in there as well. Which there will be an episode. We're gonna definitely get to that. But for today, we're gonna look at the PowerShell command prompt. So let's run a very simple command. All right, and I think I'm gonna use two commandlets primarily for this episode. I'm going to be using get-service, get-process. Now, get-service, right? So it is always in, or PowerShell is always in verb, noun, always. This is by design. When you are one day, hopefully soon, writing your own PowerShell scripts, and you're writing functions and maybe even turning those functions into commandlets and modules, you're going to want to stay in this Microsoft best practices verb noun. You can write it any way you want, but this is just the best practice. It's just going to help others be able to read your script a little bit better, and it'll flow like a commandlet, right? So let's run this by pressing enter. Right? And look at that. So now we have all of our services here, right? And this is the same thing as if I go here, go services, right? We're seeing all the same stuff. Excuse me. We are seeing all the same stuff here, right? So now, let's say I want to do get-service, and I'm going to pipe this to get member. This is going to be something that you're going to be using a lot, hopefully down the road, maybe even sooner than that. So as you can see here, there are members here. You can call them members, you can call them methods that you're calling on. The people use a bunch of different names, but we're going to go with methods, right? So up here, you're going to see type name. This is the class that get-service is in, right? So let's do the same thing except with get-process. And we're going to pipe this to get-member, right? And now we see a whole bunch of other methods here. But as you can see, the classes are different. This is system diagnostic process, and this is system service controller. Now, again, later on, and if you guys would like to look this up, you can. But these are the classes, and each class has different methods that you can call on. Each class has different commandlets. This is based on .NET. When you're using .NET, you're calling classes, and then you're also calling methods. And then that's where you're, let's say you want to get IP addresses for a specific host, right? In .NET, you're gonna be, or C#, I'm sorry, I'm saying .NET, C#. You are going to call the class, right? You're going to then call the method, okay? Getting a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna be referring to .NET a little bit because I want you guys to realize that all PowerShell is beneath PowerShell is .NET or C#. I keep saying .NET. I'm sorry. C#. And all's really these commandlets here are PowerShell wrappers, and these wrappers are wrapped around C#. So let's say we want to do get dash process, right? That's going to take a little bit. We have several processes running, right? So now, if we go to our taskbar, go to more details, go to processes here, same thing, all right? It's PowerShell isn't giving you any different crazy wild information. All it's giving you is the same thing that you can see in the GUI, right? There's nothing, crazy going on about it. That's it. So, as you can see here are our processes, right? So, let's clear our screen, and how we're going to do that, we're going to type CLS, clear, right? So, let's say we want to do get dash service again, and I'd like you guys to notice that there are several services that are coming up, right? But I'm not doing get dash service is. Well, why? Because PowerShell does not put things in plural. It's all singular, right? So get dash service, get dash process, right? You're seeing all of the processes, all of the services, but it's not a plural. You're not calling a plural. So we're going to do get dash service again, right? So now, let's say we see a service in here and we say, uh-oh, this service is supposed to be started, right? So we see, let's do Xbox GIPC or SVC, right? We're going to copy that by just highlighting and right-clicking, right? So if you're just in services, right? So let's say you see a service and you need to start it, right? You go to services, wait for that to load, scroll down, or just do W, scroll down to what you're looking for, right? And right click, click start, and it takes a little while, and then finally, after all that, it is started. Now with PowerShell, you do something very simple. You do start service, we'll do Xbox GIP SVC. Now, let's run get dash service again. Ah, look at that. We see it is started now. So just like that, you can start a service, right? Now, let's say you want to stop a service. What do you got to do? You got to open up services, you got to go into your service, got to right click, click stop, right? With PowerShell, very simple. Stop service. Boom. Now, let's do get dash service again. Now our service is stopped. So as you can see, PowerShell saves you time. PowerShell allows you to see all of the same information that you would see in the GUI, except you don't have to right click, you don't have to left click, you don't have to drag, you don't have to scroll, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just run a simple commandlet. All you have to do is just call a simple service or a simple process, and that's it. So the reason why I wanted to show you this is because this is what you're going to be primarily doing when you first get started with PowerShell. You're not going to be writing 50-line scripts. You're not going to be writing a bunch of code. You're going to be learning what commandlets are, right? So once you learn what those commandlets are and once you learn what those commandlets do, then you can start kind of coding things and put one-liners in and put variables in, and this is all stuff that we're going to go over, don't worry. So the one last thing I want to show you tonight is I want to clear my screen, and let's say you do get dash service, right? And you're not exactly sure what get dash service does. So one of the amazing things about PowerShell is the built-in help system. Now, if you are getting modules from outside, right? Let's say you download a new module from GitHub, right? Maybe there's going to be help, maybe there's not. It's up to the person writing the code to put that help in. But for all the core PowerShell commandlets, you're going to have help. So the first thing you want to do to make sure that every module that you imported, every module that you installed, even the built-in modules, right? You want to make sure they're up to date. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do update help. And this may take a little while depending on if you've never done it before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video and then we're going to start again once this is all done. And we're back. So if you followed along with me, you're going to see a green bar, you're going to see yellow in it, it's going to be going back and forth, calling a bunch of different commandlets, and then everything's going to be updated. So let's go back to get-service, right? Let's say we want to know what get-service actually does. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, sorry about that, we're going to do get-help, then we're going to call the commandlet get-service, right? So this is the help on get-service. What does it do? It gets the service on a local or remote computer. Now this is the syntax. This looks confusing at first, but I can assure you that it's not as bad as you're thinking off the top of your head right now. These are parameters, right? So these are the parameters that you can use. And the parameters are how you call things like your computer name, for example, right? So let's say we want to do get-service. We can do -co. You can hit tab for autocomplete. Always tab for autocomplete is very important because it saves you a ton of time. Get-service computer name, and we're just going to call localhost. And boom. Now you can call other computers as well. Once you're writing scripts and you're doing things like PowerShell remoting, you can call different computers, right? Or if you're calling different computers from a script itself, you can do that as well. So we're going to clear this out, and then let's try another one. Let's do get-help, and let's call get-process. And now here's the help for the process. It gets the processes that are running on the local computer or a remote computer, right? Here's some links. Here's some different commandlets that you can use. Get-process, start, stop, just like we kind of did with services, right? And here's some external help for you. All right, you can do these different things. You can do examples, right? So, oh, that's cool, examples. All right, I kind of know what this means by reading this, but now I want to see an example, right? So I'm going to do an up arrow on my keyboard. That's going to bring back my previous commandlet. Then I'm going to do hyphen. I'm going to do EX. I'm going to tab again. It's going to give me some examples. I'm going to hit enter. Whoa, look at this. We got a bunch of examples here. We got some good stuff, right? So now this is what this example is doing. It's telling you what it's doing. We're not going to go through all of it. feel free to do so. Please do so. Right? And we have 7 examples here that you guys can go through. So now we're gonna go here. We're gonna CLS. We're gonna clear our screen. We're gonna do EXIT to exit. We're gonna hit enter, and that's it, guys. So I hope this video was kind of informative for you. I wanted to kind of take it slow and jump and not jump into anything. I I think that my next video is gonna be more of an advanced video. And I'm gonna tag these as advanced, and I'm also gonna write advanced in the title of the video, so you guys know what's what. But please feel free to watch those videos if you'd like. Just don't get scared away by them. When I first started with PowerShell, I remember I just wanted to jump right in and look at all these crazy scripts. And it made me feel like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to learn this. Don't feel like that, please. You're going to be just fine. Alright? Follow along with me. Look at some of the resources that I mentioned in my first few videos. And we're going to go through this journey together. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. And I'll see you next time.